What's up, guys? We are back with another rewind episode 2 of the. what is this season? This is 2025 season, right? Coming up.
Sure. Yeah, technically.
I think that's what they call it.
2024, 2025.
Anyway, going into Black Ops 6, second episode. We're gonna be going over a few things. I, for some reason, wasn't pulling clips up the first episode, mainly because I didn't think really we had enough to talk about. Things are kind of starting to kick off now with tournaments going on, the game actually being out, um, this and that. So we're going to go over a few points and topics that I thought were interesting and talk about them, see what you guys thinking about them, and get into it. Um, just starting off, like kind of nothing too serious. Breaking Point put together a COD all-time list. It goes over, how many is that? 20 different, what, like, not topics, 20 different titles. And a lot of it is optic. There's a lot of green in there. There's a lot of green in there. Let me turn Ringer off. But what do you guys think? You guys think any of these stand out to you, or want to make any comments on anyone in this list that you see?
I'm just going through it. I think there's some shade thrown at insight and accuracy. That's pretty funny.
But I was
But I
gonna
wouldn't.
say all of these are like compliments, and then you just get accuracy in the bottom right corner. Worst
Yeah,
move.
I feel like with accuracy and like insight's obviously the least aggressive, and he knows that. Everyone knows that. Least aggressive, I feel like isn't bad. It's just a play style. Worst movement, like I think accuracy would give himself that award. But I mean, if Goddard X was still a player in the league, but
I guess Hoop gets some massive shade too, right there. Most overrated, even though it's probably
yeah,
not wrong. But
I would say that's pretty accurate if you really think about Hook's career. Like he was, I mean, he's a world champ, but man, he's
It
had
was
some
on a
good
five-player
teams.
team.
Yeah, it was a five-player team, and it was an online champs, and he was on Adderall for it. So,
Cheater.
um, anyway, I mean, he was the guy in Advanced Warfare. Don't get me wrong, but like after that, he couldn't really fit in anywhere else. And even in Advanced Warfare, he was the slayer of the team, but the team wasn't winning. It's kind of how his teams are now. If you really think, he's very inconsistent. Back then, he was a lot more consistent, just always dropping kills, kind of playing like a scump role, just a pure slayer. But nowadays, he's so inconsistent. Sometimes he pops off, and the team will sometimes win. Sometimes when he pops off, the team is just getting fucking shit on because he is making no impact on the map and just running through spawns. We saw that a lot last year. There was a play on Invasion. Was it Invasion Control? It was something really bad. He ran into Mannequin when they had like three dead, and he pushed back gas while they were spawning. It was just a terrible play. But overrated, I think that makes sense. Underrated, John. I think the one that I would disagree with is highest skill being Scump. Like he is the like best slayer. Don't get me wrong. I would put him as best slayer for sure. But highest skill, do we not think a simp or a hydra like are they not higher skill level now than Scump was back then, or is it just different eras? You guys think?
well, that's I was actually going to bring this up about future Goat. I mean, no disrespect to Simp, but I think Hydra, if he keeps doing what he's doing, he's going to have that. But I agree with you. Scump highest skill. I mean, Scump's obviously many people think he's the goat, but highest skill, maybe not now. If he played now, obviously we can't really tell because he was playing back then in the league. But he also just destroyed, the Optic team on Black Ops 2. So I don't know.
Yeah,
There.
that is an old game. Go ahead.
Well, I'm thinking like I'm looking at this and I see like they have Scump, highest skill, best slayer. Wouldn't that make him the GOAT? I know he hasn't won the most tournaments as many ships as Crim Six, but if you're saying like this, I feel like that's your GOAT if you have those 2 titles.
I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with that. Mainly because players like Hook, just pure slayers that can't seem to get across the line, kind of fall into that category as well, in my opinion. Scump, obviously he did win a world championship. Crimsix has won, was it 3 or 4 maybe? I don't remember how many he won with Complexity. But
I'm sure.
Crimsix he has more tournament wins. He has more world championship wins. He did it in a newer game than Scump did it. He won in Modern Warfare 2019. It was online, but it was a more recent. In my opinion, I do put Crimsix as number one. I put him as the GOAT of competitive Call of Duty, but I definitely put Scump as the best, like, Slayer, I guess would be the best word, but watching his old POV back in the day, no one played like that guy. He was revolutionizing like Call of Duty. He was literally the Stephen Curry of Call of Duty. It's actually insane. It really, really is. You can glaze the guy forever, but if you go back and watch that shit, if you go back and watch those gameplays of him like actually in tournaments and matches, and like, dude, it is crazy. He averaged through the whole year like a 1.4 something. It's insane, but this list was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty cool they put this together.
You can put another spot on there. It's like best retired pro, Colt Havoc, going insane right now.
Yeah, Colt's doing his thing on social media and Twitch and shit. But if I were to put retired pro, I'd put Zuma for sure.
Oh well, yeah.
Dude.
Just Havoc is grinding the game though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I saw a clip of Dashy, and he was like, they were talking about the race that they're doing to Master Prestige, and it was I can't remember who he was talking to, but he was talking to someone about it. He's like, yeah, Optic's doing it, Doom's doing it, and then this motherfucker Colt Havoc is in first, beating all of these people who are rotating people out. And I was like, oh, I thought he would just do solo first to make it there, but he's beating all of the people that are rotating in and out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Funny.
Yeah, that man is yeah, I don't know. There's something wrong with his brain. I don't know why the hell he would put himself through that, but he's doing it right now. You kind of got to cut the Optic race a little slack because they were never really racing to be first or anything, and they had content mixed in with the race that like they were pausing for. So I kind of give them a little slack, but the fact that Colt was beating Doom and Nuke Squad, that's insane. I think Doom finally passed him, but that is insane.
See, I mean, you can only keep it up for so long if you're one guy.
Yeah, he's doing his fucking thing. Yeah, that list was pretty cool. Let's move on to map sets and kind of an overall feel of the game now that we've played it for a couple. I've been busy with life shit a little bit, so I haven't played as much as I would like to so far, but I've played enough to really understand what maps need to go competitive wise and what maps we can actually play. There's not a lot. I think there's probably 3 maps that are viable for competitive and 4 if you really are trying to stretch it and make it work. But it's not looking good.
Yeah, man, the only one I think is Skyline. You can do any game mode on, but Payback you can do search.
I don't think Payback's viable at all for competitive. Honestly, it's too small.
But there's no other map. Like the thing I'm scared about is they throw red wine, recard in or red card in with a search. Like I just don't want those maps in competitive Call of Duty.
I want Rewind in search over any other map that they were going to try to put in. I think Rewind's a good search map, honestly. I haven't necessarily played it. I've watched the pros play it a little bit. Plays pretty good, for as good as it can, I should say, for the map it is. But if you really break it down, you can force it to be a 3-lane map 4v4. You got the left street, you got the diner street, and you got the buildings. So I don't know. Also, Vault is probably going to be a 3 game mode map for competitive. Vault's a really good all around map for comp. I think Protocol could be a very good hardpoint map if they move that bunker hill outside of the
Yeah.
bunker and put it like where that boat sits right out in the open down there. It would be
Yeah.
such a good hardpoint map. Right now, I mean, it's good for what we have hardpoint wise right now, but it would become like probably one of the top hardpoint maps competitive wise. But yeah,
I agree.
those are the ones I can think of really. Skyline, Protocol, Rewind, and Vault, and Vorkuta I think as well could work.
I was gonna bring that one up for like Search or Destroy or something.
Yeah, I even think Vorkuta could work as a control map, 4v4 control
Oh,
map.
could be.
I actually think that could work because you have 2 sides that are open without any, without too much cover. The right side's kind of iffy with all the tanks and the snow hills and stuff, or the left side, I guess, whichever way you're looking at it. But the lot more open side, that side with the tunnel or whatever, that I feel like that would be a really good control point, like kind of not necessarily in the middle, but like starts at the back of that box and extends all the way back to the forklift they have back there. Just for a little bit of cover, but also have it as like an open control point. I don't know. I think that map could work. Also could work for hardpoint.
Yeah. What about Scud for Hardpoint? No.
I just don't think Scud really. Scud's so open. You can cut the map from spawn. It's just. I don't think it's very competitive.
Yeah,
We'll
if
see.
the other team has a gunny on Scud, you're getting destroyed.
Well, like every pro has gunnies. That's the problem. Like they're just like
Uh,
you can just cut the map no matter like.
yeah, you're right. I was talking as far as like regular people like us playing the game.
Yeah.
Obviously the pros would eat each other alive.
Yeah. I also hear me out, okay? I know it's not a game mode in the game right now in pubs and stuff. Capture the flag on payback would be so lit. That I think that would probably be the only map I would want to watch capture the flag on though. But it would actually force capture the flag to become an aggressive game mode instead of a campy game mode. The map's so small, it takes 10 seconds to hit a route with a flag. I don't know. I feel like it could make the game pretty fun, but they're not going to do it.
And there's downstairs in that building. There's a lot of different routes you could take in that one too. I think you have like a death timer on Capture the Flag. With how small the map is, you probably have to reduce it like just to a couple seconds, or otherwise one person dies and you're gonna cap it right away. But
Yeah, probably. Let's kind of go through what pros are saying. Slasher, obviously back in the league on the Ravens. Doesn't like the maps. Doesn't feel like Treyarch made them. I would kind of agree. It just doesn't. These don't have Cold War vibe maps. Like the whole game feels like Cold War besides the maps. So I don't know. I'm kind of with him. Fellow says feels like they tried to make a lot of short attention span pub maps. Another year of DLC saving the day, and I would probably agree with him. Last year we had that same situation happen.
it's a
DLC
pretty good
saved.
statement.
What?
That's a pretty good statement. I do like that they tried to release their own maps, like they're like rolled out first new maps before, and then they can go back and release some of the classics and fan favorites after if these aren't working out.
Yeah, and sorry, Pranav, you wanted to go, but I was just gonna say I honestly don't even think I would love to see them bring Raid and Standoff back into this game. I think they'd play great. I know a lot of people aren't for it, but competitively, I think they would probably be the top 2 maps. I wouldn't mind if they keep making new maps, but now that they've seen how they play, like when the pros are scrimming it, when the pros are doing this, running tournaments on it, all this stuff, like cater to a competitive like a competitive map drop. Drop 2 maps that are just competitive in mind. They can still work for pubs. Competitive maps will work in pubs. They're just good Call of Duty maps, so they're gonna work either way. It may not be people's favorite, but for competitive players, that would be huge. I think they underestimate how big of the player base is into ranked play and really kind of thrives off the league. I know it's small compared to the pub players, but there's a passionate player base in the game itself that aren't pros, aren't trying to go pro, but want to play a good ranked play. So, I don't know. I hope they do well. I kind of agree with Fellow. I'm very much looking forward to DLC sooner rather than later. Anyway, but just a bunch of people agreeing with Slasher here. So, you guys have any other thoughts, any ideas what they can do here?
I think Fellow sums it up perfect. As far as, I mean, it's exactly like Cold War. It feels the exact same game, but like you said, well, the maps are just completely different, obviously.
Right. All right. Yeah, I think he summed it up pretty well with that statement right there. Let's move on. Let's watch a clip from Cloud9 talking about how they decided or why they decided to sign Mac again. It's kind of a trolley clip, but Mac's a great player, so people hate on him because of his role in Seattle, but he's a slayer through and through. Like you watch him on the New York team, that was his role. He's a great player. I'm excited to see him come back. Let's watch the clip here.
Yeah, no, we talked about you a little bit.
Yeah, we were thinking we're like, weighing the options. Let's see,
Hey, it's
Mac.
kind of nice.
Look at the pros and cons of everyone.
Then we
But
watched
of course,
back some,
you're a beast.
We watched back some clips like that boy can play.
I was, yo, we were straight
That boy
cheesing,
can
bro. We
play.
were VOD cheesing. I'm watching the finals. I'm watching the finals of Vanguard. I'm
Yeah.
like,
They can't kill
yo,
this
I'm like, this guy's dropping 50 in the finals. Like, come here, bro. Come back
We
here.
need that.
It was like showing the stats, like Mac respawn KD versus phase head to head, 1.3. I was like, damn. Yeah, I was like, send him the contract, bro.
Yeah, no, we talked about you a little bit.
So that pretty much just going over how pretty much his stats and what they've seen. What do you guys think about that clip?
I didn't watch much of Vanguard, but he's on the team. I think Mac deserves to be on the team.
And
I think he was like the most underrated player on Seattle when he played for them.
I
I
agree.
think he was the X Factor player. If he played well, they won. If he didn't, they still had a chance to win just because they had some star power on the team. But if he didn't play well, they were most likely losing. I actually love that Accuracy is the coach of this team. I think it could really help Mac and kind of settle Crimp down a little bit too.
Yeah, I was actually just about to go into that. We didn't know for sure last episode, but now it's confirmed. Accuracy will be coaching C9 this year, and he's brought back some of his boys. People say it's friendship cheese. I say it's good team building. I mean, these guys want to play together. They're great players. This team can do great things. I mean, Accuracy is one of the smartest Call of Duty minds in the space. So this team can really, really turn some heads, in my opinion. Cramp is
Worst
kind of the
movement,
question mark. What was that?
Worst movement, though.
Yeah. Well, good thing he's not playing no more. I think he I think he made the right decision from last year. I think he had that one more in the tank, and I think now he's in a perfect role for what suits him right now. I personally I love this team. If I remember right, I was saying it in the tier list video. If not, I meant to. Like, this team in Seattle, I really like these teams. I think they built great teams with what was available. And I'm not talking necessarily talent-wise. I'm talking wanting to play together, passionate teams that want to win and know how to play to win, not play to get highlights, not play to get stats. They play to win. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see this team. I think this team will be good. I watched this podcast a little bit as well, actually, and there was some pretty funny moments. They were talking about everyone getting signed and all their stories, and then it got to Sib or something, and Accuracy was like, "You can't say shit." He's like, "Your contract's too big." It was pretty funny. I think Sib received the bag from C9 to build this team as well. So good for him. Hopefully he shows out this year because he's gonna kind of have to, or there is going to be some talking behind the scenes, I think. Let's move on now unless you guys have anything else to say about C9 or anything relating to them here.
I was just gonna say, if it doesn't go well, you will definitely hear from Kismet and Skies. Probably a little bit of Priesta.
That is for true. Yeah,
Oh, that's probably the most looked forward, the match I'm looking forward to the most seeing right away.
Gentlemates versus C9.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. I think that'll be a good matchup for one, and I also think the grudge match will make it a little better. That's all I really have for this. I'm ready to move on here to Zuma is running another. He ran this last year, a way smaller prize pool, and if you notice down here at the bottom, it's actually 3 different tournaments, which is just fucking awesome. I think it's fucking awesome that he's able to do this, put this together. He's single-handedly carrying the kickoffs for this whole game right now. He's the only one running tournaments, and by far the highest prize pool. I mean, this is literally $100,000 prize pool between a weekend. That's good money for players, you know. And this is where it comes in. I think he was saying the Falcons aren't able to make it, but other than that, every CDL team, yeah, every CDL team or every CDL player is in it besides the 4 Falcons players. And they did a spin last night on the flank for teams. They were doing AR duos and SMG duos and doing it's like a switcheroo tournament. I messed up. I'm too scared to scroll down in the replies on Twitter, to be honest with you guys, but I don't have the teams right now.
Really, yeah, there's one team, Brett. I mean, there's some other good teams, but the Dashy, Kenny, Simp, Abizi, like that team is.
That team will probably win, yeah. That team will probably win. But I think it's pretty cool he's doing this. I'm also very excited to see how the game plays competitively. I'm purposely not watching it live because I wasn't able to catch the whole thing, so I'm going to try to rewatch the whole VOD tomorrow, either during work or some point. So I'm excited to see how that runs and how the maps play 4v4 against, pros that are actually playing for money, not scrimming. So it'll be fun. What do you guys think about the tournament? Do you guys think this is a dub? Or do you think this is actually like a step in the right direction? Do you think this will keep happening, or is this a one-time thing?
Absolutely. I think a lot more people are going to try to hop on what Zuma's doing because it just gives more gameplay to watch before CDL starts, and that can't hurt. So I think it's a good step.
Yeah, we get to see the maps played in a competitive setting too, before ranked play, before league, So we're just gonna learn more with events like this. So a little bit of money on the not a little bit, that's a good amount of money, but money on the line makes it gives us a better idea of how they're gonna play.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is going to be a good tournament. Some good intel on how the game's going to look and what the map set might look like. One other thing to mention, as I said, the Falcons players weren't able to make it, so Zuma's Challengers team is going to be entering. They're not doing a spin; they're going to play together. I think one of their players couldn't make it, so I think Timmy Phantoms is joining them for this tournament. Forget who it was, but they have Lurks, they have Encourage, and I think they have Abe playing, which are their 3 main guys that they were excited for, and all 3 of those guys just turned 18. So it'll be pretty exciting to watch those guys. What was that?
Right? That's no one from last year. They did a whole switch up from FaZe Black, right?
Right, yeah. Yep. They went out and signed, Encourage, and I think they're playing with Ryan. I don't remember, but they were both on the U18 FaZe Black. Not able to technically compete yet. They were 17 at the time, but now they're 18, so now they're in Challengers. They're gonna be nasty. Those guys are gross. I think it'd be cool to see them paired up against maybe the lower tier teams of the CDL and see how they match up. Obviously, if they go up against a Dashy, Kenny, Simpa, Beezy team, it's not going to be a very good judgment, I don't think. But who knows? Maybe they come out and shit on them. But the November 5th through 6th $50,000 tournament is it's like an actual, not like it's a they're all brackets, but that one is either double elimination or it's best of fives into best of sevens, because the first two are best of threes into best of five. But I think that last one's best of fives into best of seven. There's something about that last one. I can't remember what he was talking about. But that was pretty cool. They decide the seeding. It's not random seedings or, quote unquote talent seedings or whatever. They did it off each team that got spun, nominated one of their players to do a free for all. And whoever wins, the placings of the free for all are the seedings of your bracket. So the free for all went like this. Shotzi ended up winning it. Abe came in second, which gives Dashy and Kenny second seed. Like I said, I can't remember all the teams, so that's my bad. I should have found it, but I just couldn't in time. But this is how the free for all ended right here, and then obviously this is today, so they're playing the tournament right now as we're recording. Tournament obviously will be over by the time the video releases, by the time you guys are watching it. But what do you guys think about this free for all? Any surprises to you guys here?
Nomination of Draza, and he goes second to last is kind of funny.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Snoopy finished that low as well.
Yeah, I actually am a little surprised by that too. That Lurks guy in seventh is one of those 18-year-olds for Zuma's team.
Okay. And at LAT nominating Envoy instead of Hydra or Scrap, I feel like it's a little interesting.
Yeah, I wonder.
Oh wait, but they're not playing together. Never mind, sorry. Instead of Hydra then.
Yeah, pretty much the question was instead of Hydra and well, I guess Scrap's probably a good one too, but I'm guessing they're just based off of who plays the most free for all, who shoots the most bots. It's all about spawns and free for all. So, yeah, I think that was pretty interesting. See how the tournament ends up. W Zuma and the way he's pushing the scene in the right direction, I think is awesome. Ever since he retired, he's doing great things for the scene without even being on the game playing. So I think that's awesome, and I think it gives other creators such as Scump and Zinni, who retired after Zuma, ideas as quote unquote the watch party and the breakdown shows like the rewind. just cool ideas. I think he really revolutionized the retirement part of competitive Call of Duty, because guys weren't doing this before. But let's go into news for this year. This came out today. This year's Call of Duty season will have a new online system similar to the Modern Warfare 2019 homestands, which were weekends hosted by teams that would have, I don't think it was every team. Obviously, it was just the teams that played that weekend, because not every team plays during the weekend or whatever. So that will stay the same, but the teams that are playing that weekend will be flying to a hosted LAN qualifier now, and they're going to be called minors, which is a huge step in the right direction, because this is what the CWL used to do, and that's what we're all trying to work back toward, is LAN qualifiers, LAN league matches. It's the only fair way to determine who is the best team, who needs to be where, and who deserves to win what. If you're doing online and you're running into connection, a team that has 40 ping compared to, a team in like Optic who's based right out of Dallas who are running on 3 ping the whole time, you're gonna get ping diffed, and it's against players that caliber. You're gonna feel it. So this is a huge step in the right direction. This is what we needed. What do you guys think about this?
Yeah, I mean, anytime to make it more even is good. It'll give us a better idea on how the players will match up in the major tournaments that they're on land. So,
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense to have a team from LA play a team from New York and someone has a biased server. Even if you do something like um like 2 matches on LA, 3 matches on New York, or whoever has like the higher seeding. It just makes more sense to have localized events. So I like it.
Yeah, voice crack. Whoops. But the I think this is becoming more of a reality because they took the what's it called, the entry fee for the league out. No teams no longer organizations no longer owe $25 million to a Call of Duty league anymore, so they're able to be a little more flexible. Teams are able to do this. I think that's awesome. I think the COD League kind of realized that franchising isn't really for esports, and in my opinion, I think they're trying to walk back from it. Tippy toe back from it as slow as they can to make it themselves look as good as they can. But I think they realized it was a mistake to try to run an esport that way. I mean, the only other time you've seen that is the Overwatch League, and they're already gone. They dissolved last year, so this is huge. I think this is big news, and I'm very, very, very excited to see what this brings and how many of these minors are actually scheduled. That's interesting to me. See how many they actually do. If it's one per stage, one weekend is LAN, before the major. I don't know. Who knows?
I think it would be cool if they changed it. But I don't know if they're changing it, but instead of having like a tournament base, one team just travels to another team. They just face LAN. It's 1v1. Don't even worry about like a tournament schedule, just so they get experience on LAN against one other team. They could have it like as a match.
That's
But
that's what they're doing. That's what the minors are.
that's more what it is. Okay, I thought there
So
was multiple teams going to one spot and they were playing each other.
so it will be that. It'll be one team. So okay, so in Cold War, they were doing this in Cold War too, and the one that stands out the most is Rocker. Rocker hosted, he was 2 or 3 homestands for qualifiers that year, and they would fly anyone, like all the teams that are playing that weekend, even though the Rocker only have one match that weekend, it's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday thing, even though they may only play one match. Usually they do they'll host the homestands on the weekends. They'll play 2 matches or whatever, which makes most sense for home fans. But like all the other teams are still going to play in Minnesota on LAN, even though they're not playing against the Rocker. But it'll all be
Right.
qualifier matches. It's not going to be like a tournament.
Right, right. I was more meaning like instead of one team hosting, like just for example, like Thieves, Optic were playing each other. They just Optic flies to LA or something, and then Rocker and the another team plays. They go to that team, so like or something like that, like home and away games kind of. But that would be more traveling for the teams.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. I don't know. I feel like the COD
More
League
like
probably is not there yet. I don't know if
yeah,
they
no,
will
yeah.
be. Yeah, because like what all major sports do now, or like right now,
That's what
obviously.
exactly. Like for example, like the NBA, but obviously there's
Yeah.
not as much money involved.
Yeah. This is cool. I'm excited to see that. We can move on. The last clip or Twitter tab I have open is the clip of Nadeshot joining the call, the 100 Thieves call after they had lost in a tournament to a team of Warzone players. I thought this was pretty funny. Nade was not too happy. Let's check out what he has to say. Oh, it's so quiet.
Wait, click aim, Baka. I'm about to just get the fuck off. Click A? Aim. Stay on. LT. Oh, what the fuck? Yo, like, holy fuck.
Yeah, I think it's too quiet to hear. The clip is just so damn quiet, but oh my god, he joins and he's asking what the hell is going on. Scraps, pissed off. He's like, I'm about to get the fuck off. And Nate Shot pretty much says, no, the fuck you aren't. He says, you're staying right the fuck here. We're going to talk about that shit. Oh, man, this shit's funny. But yeah, they should not be losing to Warzone kids. They should not be.
I'm still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, it's all trolly. Nade's not serious.
No, Yeah,
You don't give a
I do
fuck.
think. No, he can say what he wants when he wants to, so he's earned that right.
Yeah.
I will say that could be bad if that, like, I know Scrap probably has a good sense of humor, but I've also seen him get frustrated at teammates and others pretty quickly. So
Yeah.
if that keeps happening, I could that could evolve into a problem.
Yeah, and I've said it before. Him and Ghosty have they butted heads in the past in challengers. You know, they were on the same team in challengers for a while, and they did not like each other.
I was gonna say because like Scrap has a history of like calling out players that
Yeah.
is not a fan, like Standy when he
Yeah.
played with Standy on Ultra. So I
Um,
hope that doesn't happen with this team. I really want to see him do well.
yeah, we'll see what happens if shit goes down. I'll tell you, Scrap and Hydra aren't the ones that are gonna be leaving though.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
But now we can move into kind of what we wanted to do. The main topic of this episode was gonna be obviously not set in stone or anyway, but just early predictions for end of season awards. And these are awards we thought of. I don't remember all the ones that Breaking Point does. They do like 18 of them. I don't got all the stats like they do, so we're doing these ones. And we're not going to be dragging players. This is a screenshot. I started to make a tier list of my own and then realized I don't want to download just like headshots of all 48 players of the league, so I stopped. What?
Nothing.
Yeah.
You could have left the Falcons out.
Well, they weren't getting at it.
Oh,
They don't
they're
have
gonna be one of our
headshots.
rookies. They're gonna be one of our rookies.
Let's
No one
start.
gets a rookie.
Let's start with who. I guess it's a pretty tough one to start with, but who do you guys have for the MVP? Who do you think is going to stand out in this game this year?
I got Shotzi.
Okay. Any reason to that?
I think his movement's going to be insane, and he is just going to outplay people like he did at the end of last year.
Casey, what do you think?
Kind of looking toward the Beezy. He's been kind of stymied out of a couple, like when Hydra won, not last year, a couple years ago, was it? When Hydra
Modern
kind
Warfare
of came
2.
on late.
Mono for
Yeah,
2, yeah.
Hydra came on late, and I think this game mode will suit him. But I do, and maybe this might be a different category, but I like '04 could be nasty this year. And I don't know if MVP level, but if they come out, shock a team in a major or something, I think he might be something to look at too.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I have him in another another category, but I do like 04. My early pick for MVP is Simp, but he's kind of a given pick, so I don't love just going Simp. If I were to give a hot take, I think Kleenex could be fucking disgusting at this game.
Oh, I love that pick. I absolutely love the tissue.
The way he plays Call of Duty is exactly how Black Ops 6 is being played right now. It suits him so well. He's so aggressive. Like, he's the fastest player, the fastest sub we have in the league. I mean, Vivid. Is Vivid back in the league now? I don't think he's in the league.
Yeah.
Is he?
He is.
Kleenex up
He's
for
on the
competition.
Ravens.
Oh, yeah,
team,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Slasher Griffin.
Yeah, he is on the Ravens team. You're right. Yeah. Besides Vivid, I think Kleenex is probably the fastest moving player, fastest paced player we have in the league. So I think he could take it. I don't know. We can kind of here. Let's do this. Do Shotzi. Casey, who was your pick definitively? Abe?
We'll go Abe just because I think, yeah, we'll go Abe.
Oh, that's annoying. Hold on.
I like the Abe pick though. I think
Yeah.
Abe could be good.
I think Beezy's a good pick too. Let's go Kleenex. Okay. Rookie of the year. Rookie of the year, obviously. Not too many rookies coming in this year. We have a full team of rookies and the Falcons coming in. But other than that, the only other rookie in the league, correct me if I'm wrong, the only other rookie in the league is Rencor. I don't think there's another one.
We're going him. We're not going anyone on the Falcons. We're dropping Red Core.
So we're going to leave that one blank because we don't know. Most improved. Let's start with Casey this time.
See, this is what like 04 probably is still on a different category. Most improved. This is I'm just kind of looking at let's go with Lynn's. Let's go with Lynn's here.
Okay, I like that.
Just because he's coming in with he's going to be on a veteran team. He's going to be a plug and play for Hydra. He had a down end of the season last year on a bad team. So I think he can really pop on a team like this.
Oh,
I like the Lens pick. What do you got, Brent?
Oh, I had Lens mocked up myself, but
You like?
Yeah, he took it from me. So I don't know if this really counts as most improved, but he didn't play all last year. I'm gonna go Nasty. I'm just gonna put Nasty there. I know he was good at the end of the year, but I think he could be pretty good this year too.
Before I say mine, I am fully in agreement with Brent here. On the team Nasty's on now, if anyone remembers, he was a Slayer main AR for that London Royal Ravens team. Like he was getting kills against good teams. He's back on a Seattle team that needs that. Abuza is that, but Abuza is all around. He's gonna play your flex. I would like Nasty to play the main. I think he runs that role really well, and I think this team could fit him perfectly. So I love that Nasty pick for most improved. For my pick, most improved, Casey already talked about it. 04 would probably be my pick. This is the category I was kind of talking about when I was talking about him a little earlier, but I also don't know if I love it because he impressed me last year already.
Well, I was kind of thinking another category on top of it. So
yeah, in this, I don't know. I had a couple ideas. This category right here is so it's so up in the air because you never know. With new players coming in, you got Matt coming in, you got Priesta back on a good roster. I don't know, man. Most improved, I'll just give it to Kremp. I'll go Kremp here.
Wow, the single-digit demon.
I think he gets onto a good team, and I think they do well. So I think he's gonna play well. Like I was trying to kind of hint at, there's a lot of options for most improved, and it's very random. So we'll see. But those are our picks for most improved. So you guys love them? Do you want to change them at all? Last chance.
I'm sticking.
I'm gonna stick to.
Okay, and now I got biggest bust. Pause.
And play.
Here we go. The biggest bust. Who do we think is going to fall straight on their face and win the face down challenge this year? And for this category, I want to preface. Actually, I'll start off. This category, I think, needs to be thought about as who was either, good, not great last year, or who was great last year and falls off this year comparatively to their last year. That's how I kind of view this category. Do you guys like that, or you have any?
I have someone in mind, so when it
Okay.
comes to say it. But
Okay. Go ahead.
well, I'm going with Sib in this. I don't think he's going to play as good as people are anticipating it to.
There's a lot of hype around him.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's why I'm going. He has a lot of hype this year. I just don't think he's going to live up to the hype.
Interesting pick. Okay, I didn't see that one coming. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. Okay. I'll go. My pick for biggest bust is going to be. It's kind of. I hate to do it because I really do like him, but I need to see him do it again this year. Joe Deceives.
Boo, boo.
No, I like that.
I need to see him do it again this year. He's got a good team around him. He's got Insight, Kleenex, two guys who know how to play Call of Duty, know how to win in Call of Duty. So I want to see him do it this year. If he does it this year, I think he's a great Call of Duty player, and I think he has longevity in the league. But I think he really needs to, show out for himself as well as try to win. But he needs to do well for himself this year. So I'm rooting for him, though. I love the guy. Who do we got for you, Case?
I got Dashy.
Big Brucey.
Oh gosh! Wow.
Big Bruce.
Gonna be so much focused on Optic.
I like that pick. No, I do you have reasons for that?
He's just really I feel like Kenny's a better AR in this game, and I think they're gonna force Kenny to play a little more sub, and Dashy's gonna be. I mean, Dashy is a main AR, but I think the game just isn't playing to his style. I think him and Cell could have a bad year, just a down year compared, and I think that might drag their teams down. So I'm gonna stick with Dashy here. I think Dashy's more likely to fall a little. Yeah, he's been in the league a long time too. Who knows if he's fully locked in? Um, I just don't think it's his time.
Yeah, and I was gonna add on to that. Optic did just win champs. Dashy's been playing for a while, so does he let his foot off the gas this year? We'll have to see. I love the Dashy pick. I'm obviously huge Optic fan. I love them, every single one of them, all of them. Anyway, huge Optic fan, but Dashy pick here is very, very good because I know he just won champs. He has nothing to prove now. But if he wants to prove himself as oh shit, Dashy's probably one of the greatest to play Call of Duty, he's got to do it again this year. We'll see what he does.
Yeah, that doesn't mean Optic's gonna do bad this year. That just
No.
I don't think Dashy is gonna be the focal point.
And actually, I think you actually knocked it right on the fucking noggin when you said Kenny is the better AR on this team in this game. I think Kenny plays faster. Kenny plays the game I don't want to say smarter, but Kenny plays the game around his teammates better. So I think this game fits Kenny more. I think Kenny's gonna have a great year. He's a great player. I mean, he had a good year last year. Fitting into a kind of a weird role. They kind of threw him into the IGL even though he expected it. But I think he did well.
Casey also brought up Celium. I think Draza could be up for bust of the year.
Yeah,
hot take. I think he's going there.
Yeah, I was gonna go. Good thing you said something because I was thinking of that too. Yeah, I think actually Cell's gonna have a great year. I think Draza might have the rough one. And if I was to pick one from FaZe. But let's go on to Coach of the Year. This obviously coaches aren't a huge deal in Call of Duty, but this is more for the established ones. You got your Crowders, you got Karma, you got D-Real, now you got Accuracy. Brian Saint, Sam Phoenix, all these guys. I think Coach of the Year, obviously we're gonna put Karma up there. I don't know. Would that
my vote's Karma, just because I have bust of the year Civ. I'm not going Accuracy, but
I'm gonna go accuracy here,
Oh,
and then Casey, it's up to you, kind of, if you want to do someone else other than
I mean,
Crowder.
I was gonna say, I think Crowder is like he should be involved in this, but I like accuracy, and that might just be low hanging fruit. Well, I think both of them are kind of low
Okay,
hanging fruit.
how about you take accuracy? I'll go Rambo Ray, coaching Seattle or
I
Vancouver
was
this year.
gonna bring up his name, but I don't really like. I don't know. Never mind. We'll leave it aside. I'm locking in Purge. Give me Purge
Yeah, he's on Boston
right
this
now.
year. He's on Boston this year. We got OBJ Player of the Year, Objective Player of the Year for players that or
If
people
there's
that don't
not
know.
3 Purges on this screen right now, I'm gonna be upset. I'm gonna be upset.
We
I can
have.
tell you right now, I don't have Purge right here.
God.
I do not either. But Purge is
Gonna be
Casey's. Brent, actually, who do you got here?
weird.
I'm going with Ghosty right here.
No, there it is.
That's what I'm going with.
Good pick. It's a good pick. You got reasons?
I just think he's surrounded by absolute slayers, and he's going to be the rock of that team. So he's going to have to hold point, get everyone in the right position, and make the calls. I think he can lead that team.
Yeah, Casey, you got reasons for Purge? I mean, we kind of saw it last year, but what do you think?
This is strictly just I like the guy. He's a flow player. He better be playing objective.
Yeah, no, I think he plays. I think he plays around the objective very well. It's just kind of the player he is, so it's a good pick. My objective player of the year this year is actually gonna be fuck. Dude, I don't know. I was gonna say Mac, but then again, I think he's gonna be the Slayer. Like they're gonna try to throw him into Slayer roles more. Let's see. You know what? Fuck it. Give me Kiz. Give me Kismet. He's playing with Linz. Linz is going to be running around. Kiz is going to be their entry. Give me Kiz.
Caesar, huh?
Yeah. I don't know. Caesar would be a good pick, too. There's a lot of good picks here. I honestly think Attach would be a good pick here, too. Just
Underrated
on that team.
Depends how the Ravens are. This could go to Slasher, too.
Oh, that's true. That is true.
No, it's Purge anyway.
Okay. And then Slayer role. Who is going to be the Slayer of the year? And this doesn't mean MVP. This just means who has the best KD this year.
Mark, I feel like you haven't gone first. I feel like we should let you go first in this one.
Who has the best KD this year? Let's see. It's corny, but give me Sel. Give me Sel. He's had the best KD the last 3 years. Just give me him again.
No, he's gonna be the second biggest bust.
Ooh.
Behind Dad.
All right, who?
I'll go next.
Who you got,
I've been
Casey?
kind of hinting it throughout the. I'm gonna go with 04.
For Slayer, okay.
For sure, he was saying Purge right there.
Okay, now that okay, Casey, I want you
there.
to talk about that a little bit because that is something I didn't expect.
You didn't expect it. I like his play. It's a submachine gun roll. He really pops out. He's a SND player, so I think. I mean, that when it comes to slaying it, the respawns are more heavy, but small maps, I think he gets mixy, and if we come out with more maps like the old fan favorites, I don't think he'll win Slayer of the Year, but I do like I just like his gameplay. He's quick. He shoots well. It's a submachine gun map, and he's on a young team that he can really stand out on.
Okay. Yeah, it's hard for me, personally because he didn't play that role last year, but they also had Hook, and now they have Hixie this year. So now it kind of changes the element of who's gonna play what for that team, submachine gun wise. So I actually don't.
Hixie's just the worst purge. So
We'll see. Hixie was frying in Challenger, so I would not be surprised if Hixie runs more of their entry Slayer role here. But we will see. We'll see. That team is still a throw up for me. Brent, who do you got for Slayer of the Year?
I just think there's two names that are not on any of these lists that are just we're disrespecting them. I want to put Scrap and I want to put Hydra both down, but if I had to lead to best KD, I think it's going to be Scrap because I think Hydra's just going to run around too fast.
Yeah,
I'm going to go Scrap in this position.
I think Scrap's a very safe pick. I actually was thinking about Pred, but I also think the game's really quick, so I think submachine guns are kind of playing at a disadvantage for Slayer of the KD wise, but we'll see. We will see. Yeah, Hydra definitely is up there. Scrap, I think, would probably be the number one option, to be honest, just based off what's going on. But I mean, Cell has won best KD the last couple years, so we'll see. I think it'll be a very interesting year. I'm fucking very excited. They announced also while I hit record for this video that Barcelona is confirmed and the date is February 6th. The Major 1 will be in Barcelona this year, which is freaking awesome. That's dope that they're going back to Europe because they haven't been to Europe since I don't even think they went in Black Ops 4. I don't remember if they did or not, but it's been a long time. And I know the Europeans are excited to get them over there. The Heretics and what's it called? I think Toronto is owned by a Spanish group, KOI. They're both Spanish, so I mean, closer to home for them. A lot more of their fans will be able to go watch those games. That'd be cool. I didn't. The other events. It was what was it, man? It was Barcelona, Dallas. I can't remember the third one necessarily either. Barcelona, Dallas. The fourth one was Chicago, and then Champs was Toronto, is what I saw. Which is kind of weird because they were the team that was crybaby cheesing the Optic hosted Champs last year. Scrap was the first one to tweet about it. Obviously, he's not on Ultra anymore, but now Ultra is hosting Champs the next year. So, a little weird, but it is cool. Everyone says Toronto's probably the best event that they have, so it'll be cool for Champs to be there. That's all I really had planned for the episode. Do you guys have any other topics you wanted to talk about or bring up, or anything for next week?
No, not much. I just I'm really ready to watch this Zuma tournament going on. That's all.
Yeah, that'll be exciting. Casey, you got anything?
We talked a lot when there was not a lot of action going on, so we can't wait for the actual season to kickstart and we have more storylines to go dig after.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. This tournament will give us something to talk about next week for sure. So until next time, Wednesday again, expect it next week. We're going to be getting them out every Wednesday. The time frame is kind of still, it's on Wednesday at some point. It won't be late at night, late at night. We'll get it out afternoon, but if I'm able to schedule it for a earlier, before noon, not necessarily morning, but before noon, it'll come out then too. So just be on the lookout for it on Wednesdays. Other than that, we will see you guys next week. Thank you guys for watching. If you made it to this point, drop a tongue emoji in the comments, please. That would really get me excited. Thank you. See you next week.